Hello. Oh, it's always a mystery how this camera's going to start. I didn't know that was going to hit go. So, hello, it's Sharon Corsaro. I am here to give actually this is an update, a little bit of an update, but also this is my share for embracing creative today. And I just made a video actually that cut off in the middle. I didn't know it had done that, so I'm starting over. So, let's see. I got to practice then. So I decided to do this today to share. I'm sharing my own creative process, being really transparent with my own process, my own like current time, what's happening now, for the purpose of sharing in the moment, the teachable moment of how it works when we are creating something new, when we are when we're carving a new way. And I had quite an interesting experience today because, well, first of all, the news. First of all, the news flash. I have to take it in. I got my ticket. I shared on my personal page that I have been in a huge limbo. Well, I didn't say it like that, but the fact is, I've been in a big limbo state. I decided I was going to do something very different this year for this winter. And that was also part of the creative process was that I got the idea a while ago that and why I made the idea was that I was coming up against a wall. Like I was looking for an answer and I was hunting, and I am fierce. I am really fierce, and I'm really masterful at finding the answer, and it wasn't happening. And I was getting really frustrated, and I was like, what am I going to do? And I finally stopped myself. And I said, wait, there's a different answer here. I need to like pull myself back, which this is all part of it. This is all part of creative solutioning, doing it differently. When you're being stuck, pull back and look through a different perspective. What are you being asked to see differently? So that's what I did. And I got this brilliant idea. And then it just came to me like, oh, wait a minute. We're going to do something totally different this year. I had not done that. So I got that idea. I got the big brainstorm. I got the big flash. And then I went into preparation mode for doing that. And I didn't lock in my plan. And so the part I want to talk about right here today, what I came to share about right here today, is this. What happens when we land. It's so huge. I laugh because it's like, oh my God, it's frigging awesome. It is like, well, something does come to mind, but I'm going to not mention that. But it's like, it's like when you're like coveting, you're like waiting for the cake that's baking in the oven, and you like can smell it and you can taste it, but it's in the oven still, and you're like waiting, and you finally get to cut it open, have the piece, have the first bite, and you're like drooling over it. It's a little bit like that, but different. So here it is what I want to share about is this. The energetics that I physically went through today, that's what I decided I would share about. And it is the work of embracing creative, because it is all about the creative process and how we create something new, and how huge it is if we allow the energy. When we allow the energy, you see, the energy is like the invisible river. and where a whole bunch of people in the way of our world has been blind, has operated is in a way of being blind. That's not the right way to say it. It's unaware. That's the right way to say it. We've operated in a way that is unaware of this giant force of energy. This giant force of energy that we can not only access, but be in partnership with. Be in partnership with. Be in union with this mighty creative force that is it's the creative, it's the invisible, it's the mystery, it's the power, it's the creative. And our opportunity, our opportunity in this world, in our life, in this life, is to allow what the structured, I'm going to say masculine, our standard world that we all, not all, because some haven't, but that our standard populist world has operated within is a structured world. It's really a world that we sort of had to have to kind of control the masses. I hate to say it. I'm not going to go into that, but what I'm here to say is that if we can pause and step back and allow union, partnership, collaboration, cohabiting with the mighty creative force, it is so giant and so powerful beyond words. So, the experience I had was that and this is the body of work, this is what I am here to share about, is that I have been living with the creative for a really long time. And my own self, I operate I am so in the intuitive that it takes, I'm so glad that I'm doing this sharing, that I am sharing it with you out there. Because that is drawing it up out of my well of my intuitive self and bringing it more conscious, even more conscious than it already is. That was weird. I think that must have been an owl. I'm in the dark and a bird just flew over. Wow. Okay. Distraction. Sorry. So even me, I'm totally in partnership with it. And still, and I'm really far down the track of I have accepted and I receive it and I just be with it. So I don't worry about being conscious about it. But drawing it up to explain, the act of explaining it, of sharing it, of teaching about it, is so powerful because it brings it conscious through my conscious mind so that I can communicate it. And that is huge. That's really freaking great. So here it is. What I realized that I wanted to share today is this. I was in this giant limbo state. So I got the idea, I'm going to do something totally different. And I was totally sold on the idea. And I did a bunch of research and I shifted into preparing to be outside the U.S. for a long time. I shifted into a different gear of getting ready, but I hadn't landed my plan. And so for a whole bunch of time, I have been in limbo. And then I got scared. And then my location has totally changed, dramatically, from continents, multiple. There's been so many. My creative self has brought me all kinds of ideas to consider. And my masculine structured self is so accommodating. And so my masculine self is okay, well, let's see. Maybe that. Yeah, maybe. And I do a bunch of research. I find out if it's possible. So, been down a long road over the last 6 weeks or so of so many backflips of figuring out this plan. And here's the bottom line. I got my ticket. Today. I got my ticket. now. I'm going to save, because it's a whole nother story about the where I'm going and all of that. That's not what this is about. That's another time. The fact is that the act of the decide, the act of the commitment, landed my whole energy. Woo! Can you tell I'm a little bit happy about that? Oh my God. The act of the buy, the get the ticket, the act of doing it, the commitment, the pushing through all the fear of how am I going to manage it? Is it going to be work? Is it going to work out? All of the questions, all of that. Surpassing past through all of that. I cried. I wept, not cried. I wept. I wept in surrender, in the giantest sense of surrender. In the process of doing this today, it was the tears of knowing. I'm doing this. I am stepping up. I'm stepping up. I'm saying yes. And so the part that I want to share about is the effect, the affect, that what happens to us when we commit. There is an energy, there is an energetic that is giant when we commit, when we say yes, when we land, when we pay the money, when we make that commitment, when we take the step that commits us. All of that limbo energy, all of the me in limbo, all of the me, like I'm moving my arm, which you can't really see on the camera, but it's this, all of my energy was up here, like up in the above the ground. It wasn't grounded. Not that I wasn't grounded, but this whole plan was not grounded there. That's really it. The plan was not grounded yet, because I did not lock it in. I had not locked it in. And the landing it in oftentimes is when we pay a coach. When we say, okay, I'm going to give you $5,000 to turn my life inside out. When those are moments when our entire world changes because we landed a commitment. So I landed my commitment today. And what I came here to share, is that the act of doing that, dramatic, it was like all of my energy, now you can see on the camera, all of my energy was way out here, all swirling, all potentials. And it came, I'm trying to get this on the camera, it all came in like a vortex that came all the way in and landed all the way, grounded through me, in me, and with me. That is what happens when we say yes. So the plan landed. And now the whole universe of me, my whole world, can now be all in working out who I'm going to meet on the road, who I'm going to meet on that track, who I'm going to meet on that flight, on the next flight, who I'm going to meet in the airport, who I'm going to bump into over coffee, who I'm going to dramatically change their life by a random conversation, meeting up on the road somewhere. And who is going to come into my life? All of those pieces are now shuffling into place because I landed the plan with my commitment. That is a big part. of allowing the new creation to come to be. I'm so grateful. I am so grateful. I am so grateful, and I'm so grateful to share this moment. So, may we all land our plans. May we have the courage when we don't know how it's going to work, when we don't know how we're going to pay for it, when we don't know how it's going to work exactly. May we have the courage to land, anchor a plan, to anchor a commitment, to say yes, and allow God and the universe and our whole creative self and the whole spiritual realm that is all connected with our spirit, our creative self. May we allow, okay, so this is a bit of the masculine and feminine, actually. It's my masculine that is the structured self. And so the structured self says, okay, we're going to do this. And then that puts the creative, my spirit, my whole creative team, my whole spiritual team, it puts everyone on notice that, yeah, mama, she said yes. And she's coming, so get ready. Line up all those people, the random, unexpected moments. It's all in place. It's all in order. It's all ready. But it takes us saying yes, because you and I, we're the ones living this. And the spirit, the creative self, the spirit, the intuitive self can do all kinds of work to set it up and to go out and reach outside of time and space and set it up. But the action self, the masculine, our action self has to take the action to allow it to all unfold. And that is what I did today. And with that, what I came to share on this video, which is now quite long, I'm sorry, was to say the energy of that was so dramatic. I felt like a lead of weight in me, the groundedness. It was like all this energy going, yeah. You're on, sister. Oh, I'm pretty happy for this one. There is so much that I don't consciously know about what I'm walking into. I feel it though. That's what all this that I'm expressing, this like unbound joy of like just fuck yes. Excuse my language. Sorry. This just like huge, like yes, like major, massive high five. That energy is simply that I feel it. I don't actually even totally, there's so much I don't know. It's like, I know like this much, and there's like this much that I can feel. And so I say that to share. Oh, I'm being so transparent. I say that to share. There is so much that we don't know. And if we can be willing to say yes, if we can be willing to say yes and walk down that road that is totally unknown to us, there is so much to be revealed and so much goodness to come. Wow. Okay, Sharon Corsaro here in my fur and my down in the snow, standing in the cold with one hand in the glove and one hand out here. I love you all. I'm so grateful. I am so grateful to have the ability to share, because all of the sharing brings what's so giantly deep in this well of knowing in me. It brings it out here into the world. And I am really happy for that. Amen. Thank you so much. Sharon Corsaro signing out for now. Amen. Bye-bye.